Hello everyone, welcome! Again, another video of Baldur's Gate 3 Early Access. Today we're going to find out how to make the strongest possible ranger. Now a disclaimer, if you want to play with a ranger of any race, any attributes, you're free to do it. D&D, as an wise Trent said, Trent Monk, D&D is for everyone. And the first thing you should do is play with what you find the coolest, what are going to make you happier to play. Now, if you're interested in making the strongest possible ranger from start on Baldur's Gate 3 Early Access, I can show you. My name is Flavio, I'm a veteran Dungeon Master. I've been playing as a Dungeon Master for over 20 years, and also a game designer, and I'll help you guys with that quest. So let's do it. For a ranger, Baldur's Gate 3 Early Access delivers something very nice, and I will show you why. So as a ranger you get some choices. You have to choose one from favorite enemy and one from natural explorer. A ranger also always will have a dexterity and strength saving throw, and all rangers will know how to wear shield, light and medium armor, and also pretty much use any weapon. So simple weapon, martial weapon proficiency. Alright. Now, what is that? Favorite enemy. So let's see. Bounty Hunter, you gain proficiency in investigation, and creatures you hit with ensnaring strike, either range or melee, have disadvantage on saving throw. Disadvantage means they throw 2 dice to resist your spell, and they choose the worst result. That's what this event means. And that's a saving throw, Whenever you throw a spell at someone that makes them that tells they have to make a saving throw, they will throw a D20 and try to resist your spell. So I think that's a nice feature, although that's funny because a ranger does not start the game with any spells. Yeah, I know you can see one spell here, but that's because of the beast tamer. If you choose another thing, see it now. So a ranger does not start with any spell. So you actually, if you get Bounty Hunter, you don't gain any benefit. Apart from Proficient Investigation. You only start gaining this benefit from level 2 and onwards. And even though a ranger wouldn't have... You won't have a lot of spell with rangers. You're kind of like, you consider a half spellcaster, half cast, that's what we consider ranger. So you're going to level 2, you'll be able to cast 2 spells. And... one spell I think, actually. And level 1, maybe 2 spells. I don't know the progression in Baldur's Gate. I need to check the proper progression in Baldur's Gate of Ranger. But as I can say, I don't know. At most, until level 4, when you hit level 4 of Ranger, you're going to have probably around 4 to 5 spells total. That's not a lot. And now let's see the other features. Although, let me say, Ensnaring Strike is a great spell. Because if you hit the creature, they'll take more damage and they won't be able to move. They will take damage every turn until they free themselves. So that is a good spell. And so that's a good feature. I would say that if I was going to make an archer, I'll probably be choosing this feature. Keeper of the Veil. You gain proficiency in Arcana, and you can cast Protection from Evil and Good, which grants protection against aberrations, celestial elementals, fays, fiends, and undead. So you can cast Protection from Evil and Good once per day, as you can see here. That's a regular spell. Most classes have access to this spell. It's a nice spell. These creatures that were listed here, they will attack you with disadvantage, so they throw 2 dice and choose the worst one. But yeah, Proficiency Arcana, that's nice. All proficiencies are good, but still not really special. Mage Breaker. You have a History of Battling Spellcasters. You gain proficiency in Arcana and True Strike Cantrip. Gives advantage on attack rolls against a creature. Well, we don't really care for this cantrip. As a ranger, you'll probably be attacking every turn. So if you're spending an action to cast a cantrip on yourself, okay, maybe you're buffing yourself, so then you enter the combat with this buff. Maybe you couldn't reach your enemy and you're buffing yourself, I don't know. Not ideal, I'll say not ideal. I don't think True Strike is a good champion on D&D at all, and that's why on my RPG, on my tables, I actually homebrewed True Strike. So it's a much better version than that. Now, Ranger Knight, these are, just so you know, that's different from D&D already, okay? But to a point, that's all acceptable. Now, Ranger Knight is very different from D&D, because it gives Rangers proficient Vista history, that's okay. But now you can use heavy armor. There's no feature on D&D that gives Rangers proficient with heavy armor. So that's great, that's very good. That means we can focus on strength and ignore dexterity, which is funny. If you look at attributes here, the star means that's your main attribute, right? So you need that. But if you're a Ranger Knight, you don't need that. You should change from first strength, I think. Larian, please change first strength when you take Ranger Knight. That will make players that they don't make confusions. Because with heavy armor, you can we don't need dexterity, because dexterity gives a bonus to your armor class if you're wearing light or medium armor. But heavy armor gives you tons of armor already and does not accept any bonus from dexterity. So whenever you're wearing heavy armor, you want to dump your dexterity and focus on strength. Because you can choose to use either strength or dexterity to attack with some weapons. But all weapons in the game, you can choose, and unless it's a ranged weapon, you can choose to attack with strength. And some weapons that have finesse, that's an attribute of some weapons, also allow you to attack with dexterity. So what you do here, if you want to make a melee ranger, grab Ranger Knight, dump your dexterity, and level up your strength. And that's what we're going to do here, but I will show you how to make the best two rangers, the melee one and the ranged one. And for the last favorite enemy, Sanctified Stalker. You swore to hunt the enemies of a holy or druidic order. Gain proficiency in Religion and the Sacred Flame cantrip. It deals 1d8 radiant damage. That sucks. That's ultra suck. You're not spending your actions to throw cantrips at people, you know? You want to use your weapons and hit them. Yeah, that could be good in one or other situation, but usually, if you're making a ranger, you'd want to be casting cantrips, you know? Because if you want that cantrip, just make a cleric. Yeah, now you have all the spells in the game that cleric could have. You have access to the same armors as rangers, because on this game, clerics can only access medium armor. And D&D, some clerics can access heavy armor, but not in Baldur's Gate. All clerics can access only medium armor. So yeah, pretty much you're better being cleric, having more spells, and having more reasons to elevate your wisdom, you know, and casting cantrips. So ignore that. Now, let's do the melee ranger first. So we chose the Ranger Knight to get our armor proficiency. Now we choose one natural explorer. Beast Tamer gives us a familiar. We don't want a familiar. Fuck a familiar. Yeah, it can do some nice things in combat. Yeah. But my experience is will die and it won't be as useful as other stuff here. Urban Tracker. You get sleight of hand proficiency. That's nice because this game uses sleight of hand to disarm trap. So that's a good proficiency here. I still find that's better than the familiar. But they are both worse than the others are under it. Wasted Wanderer give you resistance to cold damage. So the last options, one will give resistance to cold, the other resistance to fire, and the other resistance to poison. That means you only take half damage from the element here, so that is very good. Cold is not as common, but fire and poison are everywhere. So our Ranger Knight or melee ranger will take resistance to fire. And I will show you why, because it is a debate if fire or poison is more common. It's a debate. But I will show you why I take resistance in fire. That's because now we're going to our class. That's our class. We're going to our race. If now we're using strength, we're dumping dexterity. So if you're using strength, what is the second most important attribute? Constitution. Yes, wisdom is used by rangers to affect other creatures with their spells. So if you want to have your spells better against your enemies with Ensnaring Strike and so on, you want to have a good wisdom. But this ranger, it will get on the fray and hit people with their weapons. We don't care about our spells. We're going to use our spells as a support, as a meaning to get to where we need, and maybe some heal, and etc. So the best race is the dwarf, not the gold dwarf, the shield dwarf, because we get +2 to strength and +2 to constitution. Yes, we get some proficiencies that are redundant because we already have, but we also have dwarven resilience, so advantage of saving throws against poison and resistance to poison damage. And now this ranger is wearing a full plate, and he takes half damage from fire and half damage from poison from being a dwarf. That is a tank. That is an amazing tank right here, guys. And we can deal damage because we can use 2 weapons. We can use a big one great weapon. You know, so that's a great choice for you. And that's where you're going to range with shield dwarf. If you don't want to be a shield dwarf, I suppose you could also go with a half elf, a wood half elf, and then you increase your strength and your constitution. And now you're faster, right? Because the dwarf lose movement speed and the half elf gains movement speed, at least the wood half elf. And you have proficiency in stealth. So that is a good choice also. But I think the dwarf is the best one. Because ability point wise, let's dump your dexterity, fuck it. And let's dump your charisma. Yeah. Okay. Ability wise, a half elf, wood half elf will have 16 strength, 16th constitution. You don't need dexterity. I see you. Actually, you could go what you want here. If you want to affect people's first spells a little bit more, you can go 14th wisdom, and then you can probably put dexterity on 10 so you don't have penalties on dexterity saving throws. If you want to make, maybe you're going to be social, you want to make a social ranger, so you go for charisma, 14th. Either way, you choose what you want. And that means that level 4, you're going to use your 2 attribute increases on strength. So you can have an 18th strength. But if you end up with a dwarf, the shield dwarf, and that's such a cute dwarf, man, I would just be her. If you end up with her, you go to ability points, and now let's dump dexterity again. Now you have 17th strength and 17th constitution. You're going to use both your attributes on level 4 to raise strength and constitution. So now this ranger have more hit points per level, one more per level than the other one. And I think that's very good actually. I would do probably that. Maybe I don't want to be negative on anything. Maybe. No. Maybe I want to have a little bit more wisdom so I can maybe affect something once in a while. Maybe. But that doesn't matter. What matters is strength and constitution, then you can pretty much choose whatever you want else. If this game includes multiclass, it's very important to multiclass to a character to another class. You need to have the attribute, your main attribute on a minimum of 13. So let's say we start as a ranger and want to take a level 1 fighter. A ranger is dexterity, so to go from ranger to fighter we need a dexterity of 13. So if you want to make sure you put 13 from dexterity. But I think whenever we get multiclass, if we get it at all, we're going to lose everything we've done until now. The save won't be compatible, so I think you're fine just dumping dexterity if you want to. Okay, so that's the greatest melee ranger. And how do you do the greatest ranged ranger? Well, you're going to pick bounty hunter, because I really think you should exploit your ensnare strike. And from here, you're not a tank anymore, okay? So we're going to be on the far back with our bows. I think I like to have a sleight of hand proficiency, so then I can disarm the traps. Yeah, I like it. And now for our attributes. Now let's choose the race first. So we want a race that gives us dexterity and wisdom. Half elf could do that. A dwarf can't do that. Halfling could do that. No, he can't. So yeah, it's a half elf or the elf. I think the wood elf. +2 dexterity, +1 wisdom, and you get stealth and proficiency stealth, you move more. You can shoot, that's a great one here. But you can now also do with the half elf. Wood half elf. You get pretty much the same stuff that you get, and you get a +2 on charisma. Oh, I don't know. The elf you get the ancestry, then I really don't know. It's hard to know, guys, which one is the best one exactly. Let's say that the no, not the high elf, the wood elf and the half elf, they pretty much tie here for the best rangers. Now, the drow is charisma, you don't want it. Ifeng does not get to dexterity and wisdom. The halfling, a strong halfling get dexterity and constitution, but I think you're going to go with dexterity and wisdom. I will just make an elf because I think elf range is pretty classic, right? Pretty classical. So now you're going to be an elf ranger, a bounty hunter, so people will fail on our snaring strike. You get the urban tracker to have sleight of hand. Now for ability points, we're going to dump strength. Not really dump because there's an annoying thing that you can't carry stuff if you're very weak. You get encumbered so fast. But yeah, dexterity 17. And let's raise that dump intelligence. Let's raise that wisdom. Yeah, dump strength, raise your wisdom. We need more stats, so one less constitution, one more. Oh, I chose the high elf. That's the case. So you want to be the wood elf that gains wisdom, okay? Now we go to ability here. Now yes, now I have a 16th wisdom, 17th dexterity. I can have a 14th constitution. And I will put strength 10 just because I want to get encumbered less. I mean, I will be encumbered either way, but I can carry a little bit more. With that, level 4, we're going to raise their dexterity to 18. And with 16th wisdom, if people have disadvantage against your snare strike, they're going to fail. They're going to fail a lot. So yeah, that's the best ranger, guys. The best ranger and the best melee ranger. And I hope you liked it. I hope it helps you. And if you want to see the ranging in action, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much and have a great day.